This is a brilliant comic. This is 0 Hours, Christmas in Time, issue 0, which means it is actually issue number 5 because they did reverse numbering, like it was a countdown to the big end. I really enjoyed reading this, and I try not to do all them long-winded intros where I talk about myself or out like that. But doing these videos has made me really appreciate standalone comics a lot. It's made me see how impressive it is when a writer and an artist can compactly tell a brilliant story in a single issue. It also can alter how you view things. When you read in trade or read a bunch of issues in a row, you sometimes overlook or didn't focus on certain things, whereas when you read one by itself, you do notice little things. I had read 0 Hours, Christmas in Time loads before, and I always thought it was alright. I think I did a video ages ago about another issue of it, and that one wasn't that positive. But this, the final issue, this is perfect. This is everything I want out of 0 Hours, Christmas in Time. This is fantastic, and since I didn't read the 4 issues before it this time, it's not the case that getting to this final part has been a bunch of issues full of problems. I really do mean it. This issue is exactly what I think these big event stories should be. I didn't use the word much, but I did think it was perfect. I enjoyed reading this from start to end. It is perfect. We begin after the big reveal of the issue beforehand. Green Lantern's Jordan Albert. He is the big bad of this crossover, and he intends to rebuild the universe and fix all the mistakes and make things perfect. Bit like this issue. The part before this ended with him seemingly erasing all of existence after he beat Superman in a fight. I won't get into a tangent about how I like Jordan Albert as a bad guy and how it is the only time I have ever liked the character, because I do intend to do the story where he goes evil, if enough of you all demand it in the comments, and even if you didn't, because I obviously like it. So we have loads of caption boxes. These are all from Jordan Albert's perspective. They are his thoughts. And what is great about this is, well, it's great about the whole evil Jordan Albert thing. There is always some semblance of humanity to it. His actions might be evil, but his end goals are arguably good. He wants to remake existence so that there are no wrongs, so that everyone has their own perfect world. So here is Green Lantern's Jordan Albert, our villain, and around him are a small group of characters who he has saved from obliteration to kind of just stand back and watch as he recreates the universe. They are a mix of characters. Some of them didn't exist in the current version of the universe. They are like heroes from other timelines who slipped through to the main universe during the start of Green Lantern's bid to restructure reality. Some of them are sympathetic to his cause, some of them are not. We have got Trump, the Martin Quaid retcon character. I have reviewed his first appearance and I hated it. He was also the bad guy in that Van Morrison Justice League story. So Trump is there. Then we have got this fella in red is Green Lantern's, the Gary Gardner version. This is the brief period where he wore like a battle armor suit. Jordan Albert has saved him because they are sort of friends. And Jordan probably thinks that Gary Gardner can easily be won around to his way of thinking. Our here is Monarch, He has been Jordan Albert's lackey for most of this story. Monarch is really Swallow from Spit and Swallow. Or if you want to squint your eyes, it is Captain Atamant from the future, who has gone evil. Then we have got Batgirl, Barbara Oldman. At this point, she was in a wheelie chair and crippled. Well, a version of her from a timeline when she was still Batgirl. It leaked over to the main universe. And then there is a Superman character called Alpha 5, who likewise leaked over from another reality, where he was like the protector of the Metro Center instead of Superman. This is going to be a long video. Sorry everyone. This is a great comic and I want to discuss so much. I'm not going to get bogged down with my complaints of the other issues of this mini-series and then seeing how this one improves on them. But the only one I do want to put out there is my criticism that there are too many characters fighting for panel time and that there's no real clear main focus. Well, this issue improves that exponentially, and all it took to streamline the cast was Jordan Albert erasing reality. We have these ones here, the ones with him, they all get stuff to do and they each express different views on what is happening. Gary Gardner, he is written really well too. I get annoyed when Gary Gardner is reduced to a bumbling buffoon or a loud jackass. And here he is really layered and complex. And he's like one of the most human characters in the whole comic. Then we have got our heroes. Just before everything was uncreated by Jordan Albert. Nova here, he was able to save a very small group of heroes and they are the last ones standing and the only ones who can stop Jordan Albert. We have Nova, obviously, this guy here, he's like a time traveller one. That is how he saved them all, by teleporting them outside of time. This is his girlfriend, who probably shouldn't be counted alongside the rest. We have Captain Atamant, Stephen Altman, Superman, and if you look, Atom-Man there, really tiny on Superman's shoulder, easy to miss. Green Lanterns, the Kyle Reese version, Rayman, Donatello, Ara, and finally Pratt's son, who was a relatively new character at this point. This is a nice condensed cast. This is much better than the issues before, where there was like 40 or 50 different heroes in the scene. We have a bunch of powerful characters who can make a difference. We have a bunch of ones who have a personal connection to Jordan Albert. And then we have some fantastic elevation of people like Rayman and Pratt's son. This was my introduction, and I would guess many other people's introduction to the Pratt's son character. Even though I have done comics with him in before, the Justice Society of Superheroes ones, I have never quite explained his powers. He is like an energy absorbing bomb sort of power set one. A bit like Captain Atamant in some regards, but his character is more akin to Spider-Man. This book, it does a top job of selling this new character. He gets to stand alongside some of the most powerful and major DC heroes in this enormous event. I would say the same is true of Rayman actually, and maybe Kyle Reese actually, but the latter obviously has some personal character story significance as well. While the heroes are debating out all Jordan Albert's action, and there's some really good stuff here with all that, we get back to our baddie and we dive into fleshing out and exploring the feelings of the other characters present. Gary Gardner is trepidatious to believe in Jordan Albert's dream. He thinks there's got to be a catch somewhere, but he's also very susceptible to Jordan Albert's silver tongue. Then Alpha 5, he is pretty firmly aligned with Jordan Albert, since his world no longer exists, and Jordan Albert, he's the only way to get that back. Batgirl probably has the most fascinating insight and arc here. She doesn't agree with Jordan Albert. She clearly thinks that he is a bad guy. But she also knows if Jordan Albert fails, then she ceases to exist. She doesn't belong in this reality. She's an aberration from another timeline that no longer exists. And all she really wants to do is live. She is afraid of non-existence, but she is deeply conflicted about throwing in with the devil for her desire to exist. So then we have got our heroes, they attack, and this is terrific too. Nearly all the heroes get something today. That is the luxury of cutting the cast down like that. We also have the characters fighting on the side of Jordan Albert. We have got Monarch and Alpha 5 and Batgirl. She is apprehensive about joining in the fight. And then Trump and Gary Gardner, they debate about which side to be on. And Gary Gardner comes to the conclusion that whatever side Monarch is on is the side that he isn't on. Seriously, this is a tremendous comic. Green Lanterns, he tries to appeal to these last heroes by promising Superman a crypto tin that never blew up, or a world where Captain Atom never lost all them years of his life when he was shunted forward in time. I really love this comic. And then the Spectre shows up to make it even better. There was a subplot in the first few issues about how Spectre, he wasn't getting involved, but now things have obviously progressed to the point where Spectre probably regrets not getting involved sooner. I mean, all of reality has been erased. I don't know how Spectre survived that. I suppose we're just meant to shrug our shoulders and say God powers or something. So we have got a big cosmic fight going on with Green Lanterns and Spectre. And then the heroes, they realise that this is the best opportunity to do something while Green Lanterns is distracted fighting Spectre. This plan involves Pratt's son, Nova, Captain Atom, Rayman, Green Lanterns, the Kyle Reese version, and also Donatello, who is not pictured. They're going to absorb all the energy Jordan Albert is expending in this battle and use it against them. Time for our Batgirl subplot with her and Ara. They are arguing about things, and we've got some more fighting down here. Then all these heroes who have absorbed Jordan Albert's energy, they funnel it into Pratt's son to do a big explosion. But then Jordan Albert realises what's going on and he begins to kill him. But this is where Batgirl puts her foot down, because under no circumstances is it worth killing an innocent kid. And she ends up sacrificing herself and taking an energy blast that was meant to kill Pratt's son. And she dies saying how she only ever wanted to live. This also motivates Ara. He had almost wanted to try and save Jordan Albert and reason with him. But with the death of Batgirl, it compels Ara to get directly involved. And he fires an arrow at Jordan Albert. And because Jordan Albert is like at his weakest due to the big fight with Spectre and the other heroes absorbing a lot of his energy, the arrow fired by his best friend is what defeats him. Jordan Albert, he is killed. And now Spectre, he He restores the DC universe and everything is over now. Arrow is having a hard time dealing with what he just had to do. And then Batgirl's body vanishes as reality begins to be set on the right track again. Batgirl ceases to exist. And then Alpha 5 does too, although he will be back in Superman comics after this. It's annoying that Trump didn't just cease to exist as well. Then we have got some stuff with exposition and explaining some things. And Monarch, he decides to flee. And then everything is back to normal. The world continues on. Although there are some odd changes, like Gary Gardner, he has lost his armour and he is covered in tattoos. And then Supergirl, she has given birth to her baby to hammer home some bullshit theme about life triumphing. And our finish is Arrow. He storms off to be alone and be by himself, and he has a bit of a tantrum because he saved all of existence, but he had to kill his best friend who had gone batshit crazy evil to do so. Nice to end with some good character stuff like that. We have also got a fold out timeline of the DC universe. I won't get into it since this is already long enough. And on that front, there's also this card that came with it. It has got, if I can open it, it has got a checklist of all the tie-in issues inside. It's got some art like that. I really enjoyed reading this again. We have got a compelling antagonist. We have got some great character studies. We have some big fun fighting. We have some proper emotional weight of the stuff that is happening. We have got a great mix of different characters making up the cast. And some really nice usage of them. It should come as no surprise that I rate this 7 thumbs up.